Thank you for joining us. My name is Barry Erickson, and I'm Community Engagement Coordinator here at Wheaton Public Library. We are proud to bring you this program, Say No to Scams, as part of our ACES series. ACES stands for Aging and Caregiving Engagement and Support. With this program series, the library seeks to provide a consolidated source of local, trustworthy information that's important to our community seniors. Members of the Wheaton Police Department's Elderly Services team are here to inform us about common scams, how to avoid becoming a target, and local resources just for you. So with that, I'm going to turn the screen over to social worker Khadijah Khan and Officer Simpson. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks, Barry. Hi, everybody. I'm Officer Simpson. I don't know if you can actually see me. I'm not very tech savvy. So I just want to introduce myself to you. I have been here at the Wheaton Police Department for about 2 years. I've been a police officer for about 8 years now. And I am one of the elderly services officers here. We are composed of 6 officers and Khadijah, so 5 officers and Khadijah, who's the social worker who is on this call with us as well. Sergeant Prempis is our fearless leader, Officer Euler, Detective Wheaton, Officer Mohammed, me, Officer Simpson, and then Khadijah Khan. I am used to live interaction and I usually go off my humor, but when I don't have anybody to give me feedback, I'm really not the funniest person. So it's going to be a little bit dry for you guys, and I apologize for that. I was not hired by the Wheaton Police Department to give do public speaking, I should say. So I'm not really the best at it, but we'll give you my best try here. So like Barry said, at the end, I will answer any questions that you guys may have. Khadijah can also chime in on those questions as well. So if you guys have any questions relating to pretty much anything about the slides or a little bit of anything else that you guys can think of relating to scams or anything like that, I will give you my contact information at the end. So if you have additional questions about various other things that the police department can offer you or help you with, you're more than welcome to reach out to any one of us, or specifically just me, just because you guys have built a relationship with me here in the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and start the presentation. I am going to skip through some slides because some of them may not pertain to you. Some of them might be a little bit not as important of a topic, and I can skip on through the next of those. So if you see me skip through a slide fairly fast, there's a reason to that, and it's not your computer glitching or it's me not knowing what I'm talking about. It's just we're just moving on to the next topic. So, and with that, we're going to go ahead and start here. All right, so objectives: to gain an understanding of the most recent criminal strategies where the elderly are targets, provide a real example of criminal activities law enforcement officers investigate. So typically about what we investigate, what we see, what type of crimes that we're currently seeing right now. They kind of come into play, they come out of play, they rotate them a little bit. So some may be a little bit more prevalent than the other. And most criminals, what they'll do is when they see certain individuals who are successful with a specific type of crime, then they'll try to do it themselves. They'll try to copycat them, and then you'll see more and more of those happening as time goes on. So how to recognize a scam, how to avoid being a victim. That's pretty much what our main objective today is, and preventive measures that you can take for your safety as well as your family. All right. Why are you a target for financial scams? Financial stability, polite and trusting, live alone or isolated from your family. So financially stable, what that means is most people that are 65 and older are individuals who are not working, who are retired, who have put away a lot of money throughout the years that they've worked and have allowed them to live without working, or put Social Security on top of that, Medicare, different things. So some have more of an income than others do when it comes to being financially stable. Polite and trusting. pretty much when you call somebody who's 65 or older, they'll stay on the phone with you. They don't just typically hang up. You actually answer the phone. Most people who are younger don't answer the phone. They'll wait till it goes to a voicemail. If it's important, most people will leave a voicemail. So that's why they reach out to individuals who are 65 or older. A lot of times it's you have people who don't get to talk to other individuals. So they'll answer their phone and they'll talk to anybody that comes their way. And then a lot of you do live alone. A lot of you are like isolated from your family. Some are in different areas of the country or even the world. Don't talk to you on a day-to-day basis. Some will talk to you on a daily basis, which would be every other day or once or twice a week. So that allows them to talk to you and scam you out of various different things and not have you report right back to their family or your family because you necessarily don't talk to them every day. So if that's anything, call your family more. Sure, your kids will love to hear from you. I know I like hearing from my parents. So all right, why are you a target for financial scams? Kind of just touched on that a little bit. You guys have your money saved up. You guys have your pensions that are coming in. You're receiving various different incomes from your pension, your retirement, your 401ks, your 457s, various different things, and then including Social Security. So a lot of con artists primarily focus on the elderly because they know that they have more than one source of income coming in than than a younger person. All right, elderly targeted crime. So you'll have identity theft, phone scams, ruse burglaries, home repair frauds, and then sweetheart swindle. Identity theft, that's a big thing. What they'll do is they'll take your mail, they'll hack into your computer and go through your emails. They'll call you and say, hey, I'm so-and-so calling from this bank. I need you to log into your computer and access this account. And then they're like, oh, if you're having trouble with it, let me log into it for you. And then right there, they have complete access to your computer and they can go through your passwords and everything like that. So that's one of the things where you want to be very, very mindful of who you're taking phone calls from, who you're allowing to take control of your computer. If you're getting certain phone calls, this kind of goes into your phone scams as well. So if you're getting phone calls from the IRS is never going to call you. They will send you a actual letter in the mail. So those are one of the things that you want to be mindful of. If you have a police department calling you and saying, oh, I have so-and-so in custody, we need you to send them bail money. One, don't give out any names. Don't give out any personal information when somebody like that calls. If they say they're calling from such and such police department, hang up the phone, call that agency, look up their phone number online, call us. We can find that information out for you. If they truly were arrested, hopefully nobody in your family was arrested. We all have that one cousin or nephew or grandson who is not necessarily the prize of the family and does get into trouble on occasion. But just understand that a police department will never ask for gift cards when it comes to paying for things. They will never have you wire money over the phone directly unless it's been verified. So those are things that you want to do. Don't ever what they'll do actually is they'll call and say, hey, grandma, or hey, aunt or uncle, this is your favorite nephew or your favorite niece. And then they'll give it a minute and you'll say, oh, is this Phil or Susie or Tom or whoever it may be? Don't ever give a name. But what they're doing is they're searching for you to release a name to them so that they can utilize that against you and say, oh, hey, this is Phil. And yes, I am in jail and I do need you to send me money. So those are things that you want to be aware of. If somebody does call and say, hey, I'm in jail, say, okay, what jail are you in? Take that, write that down, hang up the phone, call that police agency or the sheriff's department and ask if anybody is in custody. And if they say yes, ask them if it's one of your family members, they can release that information. And if they choose not to release that information to you, you can always call us, and we'll be able to help you out with that as well too. So just be mindful of those things. Along with your telephone scams, you're never going to receive a phone call from NICOR, ComEd, the water department saying, hey, we need you to pay your bill. You're past due. We never received this month. I need you to go to Target and get a bunch of Apple gift cards or get Visa gift cards or anything like that. They will never do that. They'll either have you, they'll have you send them a check in the mail or log into your account. Don't let them do it. Log into your account and see and verify that it's been done. And then if you're getting these phone calls, just hang up the phone and call whatever agency that it is, or whatever company that's calling you, and say, hey, I just received this phone call. Is this a real thing? So that's one of the things that you want to be mindful of, is people will call. People will call from they're called VIP numbers, and they're voice over internet. And those numbers do go away. So when they call you, they'll call you from that number. You try to call them back. The likelihood that we can trace that person back is pretty slim. Not to say that it's not possible, but it's not really in the best of your favor. So you want to be very mindful of those things. Ruse burglaries. Don't ever answer your door if you're not sure who's at your door. If you have a storm door, talk through the storm door. Don't ever open the storm door, and just have them verify who they are. If you don't know who it is and they want to either show you something in your backyard or down the street, or they want to step inside to show you something that they think might be wrong, do not let anybody in your house that you do not know who they are. It's kind of like when you're a kid, when mom and dad says, hey, don't open the door for anybody, and don't let anybody in that you don't know. So if they say, hey, I'm from ComEd, or hey, I'm from a tree trimming company, we're doing your neighbor's yard, we noticed that some of your trees need to be trimmed. Let me walk with you into the backyard and show you what trees that I'm talking about. Just say no, thank you. And if you do want to get your trees trimmed, you call a company. Don't take a solicitor that comes to your door and says, hey, let me help you out with some of those things. Most people don't answer the doors nowadays. That's why they target the elderly population, because they know you will answer your door. I know when my doorbell gets rung, I have an app that it pops up on my phone. I look to see who it is, or I'll peek out the window and see who it is. When I was younger, I used to run to the door and be excited about who was at the door, and that's obviously not the case. Things have changed a little bit. Kind of like emails. Everybody was excited to get emails, and now we're more excited about getting actual letter mails. So things have changed a little bit. So just be wary of who's coming around your neighborhood. If you don't know who it is, and they say they're from whatever company, you can always give us a call 911, and just say, hey, somebody's soliciting around here. I don't know who they are. They didn't have an ID. They said they were from some company, and you just want to have them checked out. Definitely not a problem. That's why we're here. Utilize us. We're here to help you out with anything that we can. Same thing with your identity thefts and your phone scams. If you guys even get the idea that somebody may be trying to scam you, better off just calling 911 and have an officer come out and talk to you than get the idea that, oh no, I just have been scammed and now I'm out $45,000. That does seem like a large amount, but that's one of the lower ends. We've had individuals that have given out 100,000, 150,000, at a most of 200,000. So you got to be very careful who you're talking to. You got to be very careful about who you're giving your personal information to, letting into your home, letting have access to your computer, all those various different things. The home repair, that's kind of like what I talked about with what they'll do is they'll say, hey, such and such down the street is getting their driveway sealed. We painted their house and we got some extra paint. Would you like us to paint your ceilings? Let me come in and take a look at your ceilings and see if they need to be painted. Anything like that. Just don't let people into your home. Just don't be comfortable with it. And if they're insistent on doing it, just slam the door and call 911. Most importantly, like I said, talk through the storm door. or if you have a side window that looks out to your door, open that window and talk to them through there. Sweetheart swindle, you don't really see that too much. That's going to be younger individuals who are going to prey on the elderly, tell them that they're just in love with them, that they miss, having an older person in their life, and they don't have anybody around to talk to, or they're just attracted to elderly individuals. Be very mindful of that, just because, not to say that younger people don't find older people attractive. By no means am I saying that, but that's what they're looking for. They're looking to prey on the elderly who will give them money. Oh, I want to start my own, drapery company, and I need sewing machines. I need $5,000 for each machine. I have 10 machines. Will you give me that money? And sure enough, he'll hand the money over, and then you don't ever hear from them again. It's gotten down to the point where people have signed over their homes, their cars, their retirement, everything to these individuals. So you got to be very careful, if you are in the dating scene, that you are not being swindled, and making sure that they're in it for the love and not just for the money. So don't ever disclose what type of money you have. Don't disclose whatever, how many, if you have multiple homes, if you have rental properties, anything like that. Just be mindful of what you're doing. I don't need to give you guys a dating device or dating advice. That's not why I'm here. I can try to help you out with some of those things, but I'm not really the best at that. I've been married for a while, so I've been out of the game. So I'm not really too keen on that stuff. But if you have an inkling on something, just give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Give me 1 second more. Just take a sip of water. So let's just go along with some of the other things that I talked. It's quick and easy. They get access to your computer right away and say, hey, this is what I need. This is what we're doing. Let me just log into your computer because you don't understand what you're doing, and I'll get everything done for you. Like I said, they prey on that someone's in trouble, someone's hurt, that you're in jail in a different country, various different things like that. If you ever do get somebody from out of the country, by all means, just give us a call and we'll try to help you out. They try to trick you into providing your own information. It's like the name game. Hey, this is Phil, or this is your best looking nephew. Then you say, excuse me, and you say, oh, hey, Phil. Or, Phil always makes a joke, or Stephanie always jokes how she's the best looking of the family members. And you throw that name out there, and now they got you hooked. So grandparent scheme. So it's just pretty much what I just talked about with you guys. IRS scam over the telephone. Like I say, the IRS, I kind of get a little bit ahead of myself with these things. So I apologize for that, but I've done these a few times, so I kind of just jump ahead here. Like I said, you'll never receive a phone call from the IRS, the Social Security office. You'll never receive phone calls directly to you from any one of those major companies, from the FBI. If it's something that's very important, they'll send you a letter, or they'll send the police department out to get in contact with you to have them reach out to you if they can't get a hold of you. So if somebody calls you and says, hey, I'm from the FBI, I'm from the Secretary of State's office, I'm from whatever federal or local state government, just say, okay, let me get your name and I'll call you back when I have a moment. And then look up the information for that agency and call them, or give the police department a call, and we'll help you out. And like I said, we'll go from there. So there is a chance you can receive phony letters as well as emails, but most of the time you're going to receive more phony emails and phone calls than you will letters. Anybody can mail anything out, but that's typically the way that the IRS or any federal agency will try to reach out to you. All right, Medicare card scams. You want to be careful about what you're giving out when it comes to Medicare. Your MBI number, pretty much consider that as the same as your Social Security number. Do not give that out to somebody unless that's somebody that you can trust, who is a family member, a power of attorney, or somebody that's in charge of a facility that you're at, or a doctor's office. Don't give anything out over the phone, do it in person. They may, if you're calling an actual doctor's office and they say that they need your MBI number, just make sure that that that's the doctor, and that that's their front office calling you. And if you're not aware, just say, hey, you know what, next time I come to the office, I'll give you that information. That there's more than one way for them to obtain that, so definitely be mindful of that. Another scam that they do is you're eligible to receive a new Medicare card with a microchip. I'm sorry, that's not a scam. That's something that you can do for greater security medical equipment COVID. So what they'll try to do is they'll try to just to tell you that they can give you these various different pieces of equipment or different things for better security, different vaccines that they can give out, and they just need that number. There was somebody locally who was giving out, who was disbarred as a doctor, but he still had his prescription pad, and he would write out prescriptions to people, call them up, say, hey, I know you haven't been to the doctor. Let me help you out with the prescription. Just send me $800 and I'll send you over that prescription. You don't even need to go to the doctor, or give me your MBI number. And then they would take the funds out of your Medicare, or just a direct payment. So, or from your insurance company as well. So just be mindful of that too, just because when you have people saying, hey, I'm calling from this doctor, and I noticed that you're coming close to the end of the month, you should be out of your medication, let me help you out with that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do anything over the phone. Just talk to your doctor in person. If you're on medication, just go see your doctor. So this is kind of what I talked about. If you give out your MBI, you will become a victim of Medicare identity theft. What they'll do is they will take out different plans in your name, or some have gone to facilities and signed up as you, and now they are receiving care. Obviously, it gets eventually tracked, but if you're not a person who is in need of Medicare and you have insurance through your retirement or whatever it may be, that's something to be mindful of, just because you're going to have individuals who are preying on that and utilizing your benefits because you don't necessarily use them. That's something that you want to be given out. So like I said, scammers will pretend to be healthcare providers and submit fraudulent claims for Medicare for services you never received. Scammers will use the Medicare cards to get opioid drugs and other controlled substances for personal use to sell. So they'll use your information to pass scripts, get various different drugs for themselves or for their friends, or even just to sell. Microsoft scam. It's kind of a thing, but it's not necessarily always going to be something that's very important or a very hot topic. Yes, everybody typically has a computer. Most people are using tablets or their phones now, so you don't see it as much. This is what I was talking about, where they'll call you and say, hey, we need to access your computer because you have various different viruses, and let me fix that for you over the phone. Download this program, which gives them access to your computer, which most people keep a lot of personal information. A lot of people pay bills with their laptop, keep their deposit information on there, their banking information, their credit card information, all that pops up. So you just want to be careful of who you're giving that information to. Like I said, don't ever let anybody grab access to your computer unless you physically take your computer to a company to have it fixed, or somebody physically comes out that you've hired to come fix your computer or set up internet or whatever it may be. Just be careful that don't let anybody have access to your computer. Also, they will ask you for payments, gift cards, wire transfer, money orders. Just be mindful of that. Anybody that you talk to, don't give gift cards over the phone. Nobody ever takes gift cards as payment. I can't stress that enough. Nobody will ever say, hey, I need an Apple gift card to pay for, whatever bill. That's not a thing. Wire transfers. go directly to the bank, speak to somebody there. If you do have to transfer money, same thing with money orders. Don't just try to transfer it through the computer or through your bank. Go physically to the bank if you need to do anything like that. Lottery scams. Newsflash: if you win the lottery, nobody's ever going to say, "Hey, give me $50,000 and I'll give you 2 million." It's never a thing. It's never going to be a thing. People say look for Reader's Digest, Publishers Clearinghouse, a foreign lottery, or a government agency. Nobody, if you win the lottery, nobody's ever going to ask you to pay them. They will pay you out. If that's a big thing with the elderly population, buying lottery tickets, scratch offs, different stuff like that. Just be mindful of who you're talking to when it comes to lotteries and different things. Not gonna beat this one over the head. It's pretty much common sense. Don't give somebody money if they said you won the lottery. Okay, you'll never receive that money back, and you'll never receive excess money. Here's some things that you can do. This is some stuff that we talked about. Just hang up the phone. Just don't talk to that person. If that company is really truly reaching out to you, they'll try to get a hold of you through the mail. They'll try to send you an email. They will, that's a little bit contradictory to what I'm saying, but just be mindful of what information you're giving out. So if you're calling from Verizon, AT&T, Comcast, whatever company that you may have a utility through, just verify who they are, and then say, you know what, I'll call you back when I get a second. Hang up the phone, call that company and say, hey, are you really trying to get a hold of me? Because I'm receiving phone calls. And the nice thing is then they can put out an alert that individuals are trying to scam as well. So you'll see that from time to time. But just hang up the phone. If it's really important, they'll call back. And then hang up again. And if it's super, super important, more than likely they'll send us out to talk to you. If it's a federal agency or if it's another department, they'll send us out to get you to call them, and we'll give you a phone number. This kind of goes along with everything else. Don't give out personal information. Resist the urge to act immediately, no matter how dramatic the story, no matter how bad you want to help somebody out, who you think is your family member. Just say, hey, I'll call you back. Hang up the phone, call your other family members who are associated with them, or call 911 and say, hey, is this person truly associated with whatever agency is calling? Is something bad happened? Do I need to send them money? Do you need money? Whatever it may be. And if you don't have family members in the area or anybody that can help you out, like I said, give us a call. We'll sit down with you. We'll talk to you. You're never a bother. That's why we're here. I can't stress that enough. Everybody's like, oh, I don't want to call 911. It's not an emergency. Well, you know what? This is an emergency because your livelihood's at stake. Okay. So this is something you're giving out. You could potentially give out hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars because of you thinking that it's a family member, or you thinking that, I do need my back door fixed, or I do need some lawn work done. And then next thing you know, they're in your house and they're taking your family jewelry that you've had for years, or the stockpile of money that you have in your dresser, or whatever it is. So just be very mindful of that. Like I said, call your family members, check the story out with your family or friends, just like I said, and don't ever wire money, send checks, or buy gift cards of any kind. If somebody does need money in your family, go to the bank physically yourself, and say, hey, I need to send money to, this family member. Sometimes there is a fee, sometimes they will waive it, but that's a lot better than talking to somebody on the phone thinking that you need to give out, a lot of money to whoever it may be. And a lot of times banks will even, question that themselves too, and say, hey, you know what? I don't think this is a real thing. I don't think this is something that you should be sending money to. And they'll try to kind of coach you through it. And a lot of times they'll call us and we'll get involved as well too. So there's a lot of people that are out there in your favor, and a lot of people that are out there to help you. Just use it and use us. Prevention. All right, what to expect at retail stores. This really doesn't pertain to you. This is going to be individuals that work at retail stores. So not really anything to do with you guys. So what I carry in my wallet and purse, very, very important. Don't carry your social security card. You don't need your social security card. If you need your social security card for some reason, you can go home, get it, bring it to that place, come back home, put it back in your safe, put it back in a safe place. Don't physically carry it with you. I've never, other than getting a new job, have never actually had to physically take my social security card somewhere. Granted, yes, I am younger. I am 35 years old. So I don't really hop around from job to job, and things are a little bit different nowadays, but they don't, other than getting a new job, most places aren't going to need your social security card. Your Medicare card, keep it at home. If your doctor needs any of that, they can get it. They want their money, they'll get it. Don't keep your personal checks with you unless you have to use them. Most places don't even really take checks nowadays. Most people either just take, I mean, cash is starting to become obsolete as well too. So I haven't written a check other than, you know, for school costs, or I mean, I can't even really tell you the last time I wrote a check other than for like a wedding or anything like that. So or a gift for somebody. So checks are becoming a little bit more obsolete. It's important to have them because you'll need them at some point in your life, but don't keep them with you. Don't keep them in your purse or wallet or backpack, whatever it may be. Numerous credit cards. That's up to you. I mean, I can't tell you not to carry your credit cards with you, but I try to keep to be a minimalist and just take one credit card and my debit card out with me. If I know I'm going to be making a big purchase somewhere, I'll take that specific credit card that I know that has a larger limit to it, or just use your debit card, or just take that one check if you're going to write a check. If you're going to go purchase something large. Birth certificate, don't ever carry your birth certificate with you. I can't even tell you the last time I needed a birth certificate. So other than new jobs and different things like that, or even getting married, I don't remember if that was the case. We needed it for our certificate, but just something to be mindful. Bank account numbers, don't keep your bank account numbers written on anything. Don't write your PIN number on your debit card. Use numbers that you know you're going to remember. These are easy ways for criminals to just, if they steal, you know, your purse, your backpack, go through your car, they find your wallet. If you have any of that information on you, that's a good way for them to steal that. Okay. Things that you, large amounts of cash. Like I said, cash is kind of becoming obsolete too. I don't know very many people that do carry a lot of cash. I've talked to my parents about carrying a large amount of money with them as well. Debit cards are a great thing. If you're afraid to use them, they're probably one of the safest things that are out there. Banks don't want to give money out to people, so they will do their own investigations and things like that. So if you need to make a large purchase, just take it that one day. Don't keep it in your bag or your wallet. Or like I said, write one check, keep that one check with you. Spare keys. I mean, I have a bunch of keys on my key ring, so just be mindful of what you're carrying around with you when you're going out, because you don't want stuff being laid around or people going through your purse while you're looking at you know, which apple is the best apple for the day, and your purse is left in the grocery cart or your bag or your wallet or your jacket or whatever any of that stuff's in, and now somebody's taken that or looked through it while you're looking at your apple, and then they put it back and just take, you know, one or two items. Emergency contact information, that's always a good thing. Medications, if you're taking it, your state ID, driver's license, those are some kind of common sense things. Medication list, that's helpful if you ever do get an emergency, and we respond, or the paramedics respond. Usually we're there first because we're out and we're not sleeping like the firemen. So those are one of the things that you want to keep with you, as well as contact information, because if something bad does happen to you, that gives us the opportunity to actually reach out to, you know, a caregiver, reach out to a family member and say, hey, you know, so-and-so just had an emergency. I need you to respond over to this location or go to the hospital or maybe at the police department. whatever it may be. Medications list, if for some reason you're unconscious, you get knocked out, or you just forget, at least a list of your medications can let the paramedics know what's going on, what type of medications you're on, what maybe you haven't taken in order to get you back to your normal self. So it's kind of a good idea to have those things with you. So ruse burglary, we already talked about this. Checking the water, looking for gas leaks, testing your cable, outside meters, anything that's outside, tell them to go ahead, look at it yourself, do whatever you have to do, but take a quick look, get off my property. If they stay on your property for a long time, we'll come out, we'll talk to them. Just kind of goes along with don't allow people into your facility, into your house or your apartment or whatever it may be. They will pose as employees of the city. Every city employee has an ID. I don't have mine with me, otherwise I would show you, but it says the city of Wheaton on it. I mean, those can be manipulated and those can be photocopied and things like that, but just say, hey, let me verify that. Let me see that again. And if you're still unsure, just call us out. We'll verify that they work for the city. We don't know everybody that works for the city, but we all have the same IDs. So that's something that we can verify. We can get in charge. We can get a hold of any boss or anybody that's out there in order to do those things. All right, we talked about this. Keep your doors locked. Don't let anybody in your house. If somebody needs access to your property, don't allow them. And don't use a phone number. Do not use a phone number they provide. That will be a part of the home repair frauds. That's what I just talked about. You know, your neighbor's getting such and such work done. I can do it at half the cost because I have leftover materials. Don't do that. It never works out good for anybody unless you specifically talked to your next door neighbor and they said, hey, I'm getting this work done. They have some leftover materials. They did a great job for me. I think you should use them. Be a neighbor, talk to your neighbors. Hey, did you really have this work done? Did they really help you out? You know, did they give you a good quote? Whatever it may be neighborly, talk to your neighbors. And if you don't want to be neighborly and you don't know who that person is, call us. Can't stress that enough. Sweetheart scandal, we talked about that already. All right, some resources. I will send a copy of these resources over to the library. So if you guys have any questions, you can pull up this presentation as well. It is being recorded as we stated earlier. So if you need to pull up this information or you just want a hard copy of it, I can get that over to the library Friday, more than likely. So let anybody know, let me know, let anybody at the library know that you're looking to get some additional information, or if you just have some additional questions, feel free to ask us. IllinoisAttorneyGeneral.gov. That's a good way to look up some information that can help you out as an older citizen. It'll give you some information about scams and abusers and different things that are going on in the state of Illinois at the time. Illinois.gov/aging. That's a good one to go over as well. Milton Township has a SALT meeting, seniors and law enforcement together. We meet together every year or every month. Well, not month. It used to be month, but now it's more quarterly. So we meet together. We have various different topics that we talk about. So if something that's going on in your neighborhood or something that you want brought up that we can do better to help you guys out, let us know. We can bring that up to the township. There's various different things that the township does. They do once a year. I know you can bring your car out, have mechanics give it a once over, make sure everything's working on it. And that's a lot of this stuff is brought to you at free of cost, just to get some additional help. Veterans, most veterans are familiar with what they have offered to them. I am not a veteran, so I really can't talk too much to that. I do have veterans that work with me at the police department. So if you have questions on any of that, come over, come down, come see us, give us a call. I'll help you out there. And then DuPage County Senior Services. They're awesome. They're great. My partner, Officer Mohammed, and I were down there today helping another individual out. We specifically went there and talked to a representative and got a life alert box set up in their house that the county does provide to you free of cost. So there's a lot of things that are available to you as being 60 years and older. Utilize it. It's there for you. And if you don't know what services that are available to you, you can ask myself. You can ask Khadija, who's our social worker. She's a little bit more in touch with those things. She's kind of my catch-all. I just go to her and say, hey, Khadija, this is my problem. Fix it for me, would you? And she's pretty good about that. So she's really down to earth. She's really sweet. She does a good job. We're very lucky to have her. So if you guys have any questions that we can't help you out with, she will definitely be able to get you in contact with who you need. And she'll be here to answer any questions at the end as well. When to call 911, that's like I said earlier. If you think you're being targeted, just call us. Always just call. I'd rather have you side on the side of caution. I'm messing that up. It's getting a little bit late in the day. It's my fault. Like I said, not the best public speaker, but err on the side of caution. Give us a call, and we'll either say, hey, this wasn't a scam, or hey, it was a scam. You did the right thing. Either way, we'll come out. We'll help you out. I'd rather have you call us, call 911, have us come out and talk to you. It'd be nothing than you don't call us and then it is something. Okay. So that's all that I have for you guys. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I haven't pulled that part up yet. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than welcome to be more than happy to answer those. If I can't answer it, I will default on Khadija like I always do. So she's here to help us out with that. And then we'll go from there. And if you guys don't feel comfortable asking your questions on here, you can send me an email. My email is csimpson, SIMPSON @wheaton.il.gov. They do have that information at the library. It was dropped off today for Officer Mohammed and I. If we don't have the answer for you, like I said, Khadija will get that answer for you. So we will help you out. You don't have to ask your question today, but you feel free to send me an email. I typically do work nights, so email is the best route to try to get a hold of me. If you do call, I will get back to you, but more than likely you don't want to receive a phone call from me at 11 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I do have free time. So email is the best route. If you see any of us on the street, feel free to say hi. We always appreciate that. We do love our city of Wheaton. We are very thankful for everybody that's in our town, in our city, I should say. We're very well appreciated around here, and we do appreciate the fact that you guys say hi to us and talk to us. So if you see us, talk to us. It's very important that you do that. We like it. Some of us talk more than others, but we do appreciate talking to you guys. So I will free it up here for Barry, and you guys can ask any questions, and then Khadija and I will answer them if you guys have those.
Great. Thank you so much. That was lots of wonderful information. Just a reminder to our attendees, if you have a question, go ahead and type that into the chat, and I'll start reading these out. Someone just makes the comment that often people may prefer the word senior to elderly. I know the name of your aid is elderly. They just type that in as a hint.
Right? I get it. I apologize. And it wasn't meant as a stab at anybody or a derogatory term. And we're ever changing here at the police department, so I appreciate the feedback. That's something that we'll notate and we'll change in our next presentation. So thank you for saying that.
Great. Someone else is asking, do police departments still call for donations? Because that used to be a thing. And does that continue?
It does. It is a thing. We had an issue where individuals were calling and saying, hey, we're giving a fake name, or excuse me, a retired officer's name, and saying, hey, we're calling and getting donations. If you want to give a donation, we don't need it. We would appreciate it. we don't need donations. We have the federal government, the state government that gives us our funding. You know, if we have an officer that's hurt or something, you guys want to donate to that, that's great. We love cookies, we love cakes, we love food. That's the best way to our hearts. Bring us food, drop that off the station. We don't need the money. It's one of those things where, you know, I know people want to give back and want to help us out. The best way to help us out is talk to us, say hi to us, say, hey, how's your day going? Don't ignore us, and just drop off that occasional cookie or whatever, maybe at the department. That goes a lot farther than any money that'll be dropped off. And if you do get a phone call like that, just verify it like anybody else and say, hey, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with doing that. If you want to make a donation, drive or walk down to the police department and make a donation there. That's the best thing I can say to you. But the best thing that I can tell you to do is food is the way to our heart, and that's the way it's always going to be. So
okay, so it's good to be cautious of that, and we heard the send treats not money.
yeah.
Someone else is making I'm not sure whether it's a comment or a question, but they're saying emergency content, to put emergency contact on a phone, if you're going to put emergency contact on a phone, to lock it or to create some kind of additional barrier or lock on the phone. I think that's what they're trying to ask in the question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not too familiar with every phone company that's out there. I do have an iPhone, and I know there is a area on the iPhone when you lock it there, or when you hold down the power button, it'll show a medical. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but it says medical ID. And if you swipe that, it has my personal information. So I'm not going to show you guys that, but it gives me who I am, height, weight, any medication that I'm on, an emergency contact, my address, different stuff like that. So if somebody does find me in a car accident or I'm passed out on the street from running, which I don't do very often, so don't think that'll always happen, but that's a good way to do that. And if you hold your own personal information for family members and stuff like that, there's a note section in your iPhone that you can encrypt that with. And what that means is you can just put a password on that. So
good.
If you do need help with that, let us know. We'll help you out with that. I mean, those are some very, very minimal interactions that we can have with you guys that we can help you out. Just come to the station and just, hey, I had a presentation done by Officer Simpson, and he said you guys would be willing to help us out. Not everybody's going to be as happy and lovely as I am, but Khadijah's there, so ask for Khadijah if I'm not there. But we'll definitely get you squared away. We're a great department. Everybody's willing to help anybody out in our city. So if you guys need help with doing that stuff, just let us know. We can be more than happy to help you out with that.
Great, thank you. And if I wasn't clear or if I misunderstood that question, please just type it in again. But I think that's what they were referring to. I do want to mention someone had put it in the chat about SALT. SALT's a great organization. I attend the meetings myself when I can, and they meet on the second Monday of every month. Right now, they're being held at the Glen Ellyn Police Department, which is on Park Boulevard, so not too far away. And they have a newsletter, and they have monthly speakers and everything like that. So just a kind of a shout out to SALT. It's a great
absolutely. Officer Bueller is the one who typically there for those things. With me being on nights, Officer Mohammed and Sergeant Preppis, we're all on nights. We typically don't go to those. We're going to try to start attending those. So Officer Euler is not the only one. I don't know if Khadijah goes to those. She does, as she's indicating. So if you see her there, talk to her, say hi to her. She can help you out with any of that stuff. But they are great meetings to attend if you want.
Okay, thank you. Someone else is asking about Ring video cameras. How secure are they and what kind of coverage do they have?
I only can talk a little bit about it because just from personal use, I don't know a ton about them. They're great. We use them on a daily basis at the police department. Any crime that's happened, a lot of people have them, but they don't have them hooked up. So it doesn't help if you don't have them hooked up or don't have the service. I know it's like $3 a month, roughly. I don't remember. I don't know if it's changed. Don't quote me on that. look into it. I know there's various different companies. I know Google has one. Ring is very good. That's a little bit more popular. ADT uses their own, but I know they've been incorporating Google as well. So there's a lot that are out there. They are very safe. Nobody can really hack them, and if they do hack them, they're just looking at the outside of your house. So I mean, it's nothing that's going to affect you directly. But they are helpful. They are useful. It's a great way to talk to the person that's at your door and not actually have to talk to them in person. So, and it also give you an idea of who's walking by your house in the middle of the night and let us know, hey, we got people going through cars or looking in our cars in the middle of the night. And we can do extra watches and things like that. There's a lot of benefits to it. You're starting to see them more and more, and Ring will send out a broadcast from police departments. They do work with us, and they'll put out any bulletins that we have. And it's also a good way for other citizens to talk to other citizens, say, hey, you know what, I had somebody come to my house at 3:00 in the morning. I live on this block. Has anybody else seen this? And it won't put your name on there. It'll just say user 1, user 2, user 3. So it won't give the actual name, and it'll give a general idea of where the area is. You'll see a map and it'll have a circle on it, and it'll be within that circle. It's not like, oh, here at 900 West Liberty, this is the crimes that keep happening. So it doesn't really put a flag on your house or anything like that. It just gives you more of a security feature, which is good for a very minimal cost.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you. Someone else mentions that they receive a lot of calls with unknown names, or maybe their answering machine says unknown caller or anonymous. Is this a scam? They think that it's probably good to never pick up calls they don't recognize, but would unknown caller be an indication that maybe it's someone trying to scam them?
And not necessarily. When it says unknown caller, it just means it's not a person who saved it or contacts. So it could be a scam. It could not be a scam. Let them leave. Just if you don't know the number, like you said, don't answer it. They'll leave a voicemail if it's important. And if it's really, really important and somebody needs to get a hold of you because it's an emergency, they'll call us. We'll come out to your house if we need to. So don't be afraid to not answer your phone because you think you're going to miss something. Not really a big deal. I get random phone calls all the time. I got one from Poland the other day. So I am Polish, but I don't have any relatives in Poland. So not really something that I'm going to receive phone calls on. I just didn't answer it. So.
Okay, well, we'll give people just one more minute to enter any questions that they might have. Something that I thought of is I know here at the library I'm on some kind of a mailing list, and I receive notifications of police activity. So if you go out to an accident or some kind of incident, or if there is someone around doing, like the home repairs, roofs or something like that, it notifies you that that's occurring, and maybe a general area. Is there a way to get on that email list as a private citizen as well?
Absolutely. It's just wheaton.il.us. You can go on there. I don't know, without having it in front of me, I can't really walk you through it. But if you call City Hall, they can walk you through it. Or if, like I said, if you want to stop by the police department, and I can sign you up for it too. We have a computer there that's in back that we can pull up that has the city's website on, and I can type in your email address or whatever it may be. So definitely something to do, something to use. It's nice because it'll tell you about road closures and police activity. And once the activity is done, once it's been cleared, all those different things. So yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up, Barry. That's definitely something that to utilize as a citizen. I have my town that I live in. I have their city emails come out to me too. So that way I know if anything is going on in the area, and I can tell my family or just be aware of it.
Great, thank you. Well, it looks like there aren't any other questions unless there's something that you or Khadijah, think that we should have asked and didn't, something else that we should know. I know that you gave me a number of different resources, and I will be putting those out in an email following tonight's presentation to
Great,
everyone
thank you.
who attended. If you are watching the recording of this program and would like those resources, you can just email me at ce@wheatonlibrary.org. That's CE for community engagement here at the library at wheatonlibrary.org, and I'd be happy to send those resources out to you. Anything else you want to mention before we close tonight?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I'm pretty sure we brought up everything that we typically talk about, but if you guys have any suggestions for me, I'm open for anything to pass on for my next presentation. We do these every so often, so it's good feedback, whether it's positive or negative. I'll take it. I'm somewhat tough skinned, not the toughest, but I'll take it, and we'll adjust to however we need to. And if there's any type of scan that you guys know of that you're receiving, give us a call, let us know. We can update other individuals as well. But most importantly, all I can say is thank you. If you need assistance or you need anything from us, just give us a call. We're here for you. Utilize us. We're not just a service to use for extreme emergencies. Anytime you call us, it's considered an emergency to us, and we'll come out and we'll handle it accordingly. So,
Well, thank you. And you made that very clear about how many times you mentioned just call 911. I know that I would, before I heard this, I probably would have hesitated to do that, but it's really good to know that you all are ready and willing to have us call with all of our concerns. So thank you
we're
very
here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So whether you call or not, we're still out here. So give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to help you.
All right. Well, thank you so much to both of you. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe and healthy, and we hope to see you again soon. Good night.
Thank you. Take care.
Right.